Welcome back to the second segment of Community Tapestry, and if you're just joining us, we are here at the Cultural Arts Center, and my name is Napoleon Bell. I'm the Executive Director with the City of Columbus Community Relations Commission, and to my side, as always, we have
Toni Teague.
Miss Toni Teague. And so, yes, if you're just joining us, we've had a great conversation early on about what's going on here at the Cultural Arts Center. There's so many different things here that you've really got to come by here and check this out, because it's an incredible place to not only look at some great artwork and the exhibitions, but also to learn how to do so many different types of art. So we're really enjoying ourselves here. But now, you know, if you didn't know, you'd think, well, what is the Cultural Arts Center? But who's part of that? Who's behind all this? And it's actually, this is part of Recreation and Parks.
Right. Who would have thought?
You know, really, who would have thought? So now, since it's part of Recreation and Parks, who else should we talk to from Recreation and Park is, we'd like to introduce the Director of Recreation and Parks, Director Alum Mcknight. So I'd like to welcome you to the program.
Great to be here.
But actually, this isn't the first time you've been on our program, but it's the first time we've talked here in the Cultural Arts Center.
This is just one of our facilities. It's a great facility. I know you've just talked to the staff of the Cultural Arts Center and talked about the programs, but the gallery that's here, you know, we're really proud of this facility, and we've seen a lot of increase in traffic over the last few years with the completion of the Scioto Mile, Bicentennial Park, more residential development downtown. We're seeing a lot more folks come in here, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk about this facility and what's going on with the Cultural Arts Center.
No, it's really been incredible here, and you know, you know, we talk about, you know, what recreational parks, what it really actually encompasses, and you just talked about a couple things. There's a Scioto Mile and all. Tell us a little bit about, you know, the what all encompasses Recreation and Parks here in the City of Columbus.
Well, Recreation and Parks is a department of the City of Columbus, and we provide recreational opportunities for folks of all ages, from preschool all the way through seniors. But we've got over 240 parks today, developed all around the city, you know, some small, some larger. We've got 29 recreation centers we operate. We've got 6 golf courses. We have athletic complexes for adult sports, basketball, volleyball, that type of thing. The trail system's fairly extensive. We've got over 62 miles of trail in Columbus now that bicyclists, joggers, walkers use on a regular basis. So it's a very extensive system that provides just any number of programs, you know, whether you're interested in sports, arts, you know, other kinds of activities, just getting out and a little peace and quiet, you know, away from the office, take a walk. We've got the facilities, the programs to do that.
It is truly amazing, you know, what all that encompasses. And so, you know, and it seems a lot of it's outdoors,
right.
You know, tremendous amount of outdoors. And speaking of outdoors, you know, this is a time, you know, the pools and the spray parks and what have you. So, you know, and I've seen a couple of spray parks, you know, pop up around. How are those going? I mean, it looks like the kids are really enjoying it. Just a matter of fact, right across the street.
Well, the Aquatics Program obviously is a big program we operate in the summer. We've got 6 outdoor pools. We do have one, one indoor pool that we operate during the winter season, and then the 6 outdoor pools during the summer. In addition to that, we've got 3 spray grounds. Bicentennial Park is the largest. It's really not a spray ground, it's a fountain, but it operates as a spray ground. And then 3 other smaller ones at Blackburn, Indian Mount, and Barnett Recreation Center. The spray grounds at the recreation centers, they almost look like playgrounds. They've got the bright colored elements coming out of the ground, you know, buckets that fill up and dump water on the kids' heads, or they've got little squirt guns that they can aim and, you know, squirt their friends, those types of things. They're a great opportunity to cool down on hot days if you don't have a pool nearby or don't want to go swimming. So we're going to continue to probably develop some of those, but it doesn't mean we're going to eliminate any of our pools. Pools are important as well. And one of the things we really promote in the summer with our pools is our swim lessons. Our swim lessons are free during the summer. We think from a safety standpoint, everybody needs to know how to swim. Even if you don't want to swim all the time, but you know, you always hear about an unfortunate incident in the summer where somebody gets in trouble and drowns. So we think it's very important for water safety for everyone to learn how to swim. And so we make our swim lessons free because we don't want anybody to be left out.
Right. I mean, that is tremendously important, and I hope that everybody who's watching, what have you, takes advantage of that. So to take advantage of a swim lesson, do they have to sign up for it? How does that all happen? So, and can they go to any one of the pools?
You can go to any of the pools. Now our pools are again, the swim lessons are free. The outdoor pools, we do charge 50 cents during the open swim period, and we require a leisure card, which is an ID card, and it helps us. You know, if there's an accident or something, we know we've got all the information, you know, contacts, emergency contacts, that type of thing. So they're very reasonable, but again, you go to any of the pools that you want to go to, and you can sign up for the swim lessons at that location. Now we're winding down the summer season. We've only got a few weeks left really of the summer season. So, as those close down, the indoor season will open up. We do offer swim lessons year-round at the indoor pool as well. Obviously.
Where is that?
The indoor pool is the Columbus Swim Center. It's kind of in Victorian Village there at 5th and Hunter. Thompson Recreation Center and the Columbus Swim Center sit right next to each other. Very popular facility. A lot of the local schools will use it as their site for their swim teams if they don't have their own pools. We have master's programs in there too, so you want to go over there early in the morning and swim some laps.
Right. That's it.
Keep yourself in shape there. We have those kinds of classes, water aerobics classes. Well, we also have open swims. One of the things that when my children are young too, we do rent that facility, and it's a great place if you want to take a bunch of 8-year-olds over for a birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Certain hours you can rent it for a 2-hour block, and they got a little room. You can bring your birthday cake and punch, and the kids can work off some energy, swim, have a great time, and have the birthday party. So it's a fantastic facility.
Excellent.
Tell us about some of the development that's going on with some of the trails and the outdoor parks, because I've seen a lot of beautification going on. And
well, we're always, a system this size, we're always upgrading our parks and making improvements and building facilities. One of the areas that we focused a lot on the last few years, and I mentioned earlier that we've got about 62 miles of trails in Columbus now. The bike trails are extremely popular. One that most folks know about because it's visible along 315 is the Olentangy Trail, and that runs from Worthington all the way downtown now. You can pick up once you get downtown. It brings you right over here to Bicentennial Park in the Scioto Mile. Take it down to Burliner. We actually are just awarding a contract to complete the Alum Creek Trail, which will run from Westerville all the way down to Three Creeks Park. It's about a 22-mile section of trail. This particular segment that we're just getting ready to complete is it runs through part of the ODU campus. We've been working with ODU. They're going to benefit from this trail as well. It'll help tie their campus together. But the Alum Creek Trail, again, will run all the way from Westerville down to Three Creeks. And one of the neat things about the Alum Creek Trail is there's a project here in Ohio called the Ohio to Erie Trail, and it's going to run from Cincinnati all the way to Cleveland. Well, it comes right through Columbus.
Rails to trails?
Well, parts of it are on rails to trails. Another segment of that Ohio Erie Trail is what we call the Camp Chase Trail that we're also getting ready to build. Camp Chase is a rail line that runs from downtown Columbus to the west side of town out towards Darby Creek. And we've been able to negotiate an easement with the owners of that railroad. And the bike path will parallel that railroad all the way out to 270. And then we partner with the Franklin County Metro Parks, and they're picking it up there and taking it on down to Darby Creek Metro Park. So if you want to ride out and see the bison someday when we get all that done, you can start downtown and ride all the way out to Darby Creek. But again, all that's part of the Ohio Erie Trail, which again comes right through Columbus, connecting Cleveland and Cincinnati. And as we complete that statewide, it'll be a very popular trail. We think there's even economic benefits of having that. There are folks that'll ride that entire length over 2 or 3 days.
Right.
They're going to be looking for places to stay, places to eat, other things to visit, whether they want to stop at COSI or other kinds of facilities in the city as they come through. Wow. So the trails aren't just for recreational use. There's an economic benefit. And then the other thing we see right now is a huge increase in the number of commuters. People that are riding their bikes to work from various areas of downtown. I know a number of city employees that do that as well.
That's amazing. And I was going to say that as we hear all of this construction about these renovation projects and commuter projects, you've got projects going on in this building. So if our viewing audience is hearing some of that external noise, it's because we are right on location, and there's always hustle bustle going on.
Well, they're down there in the metalworking shop working on things.
Jewelry and so on. Well, and as you said earlier, I think in the interview, we're right across from Bicentennial Park on the Scioto Mile, and the downtown parks are extremely popular. Bicentennial Park has the large fountain in it, and we've got a restaurant over there, Milestone 229. It's the first time we've done something like that in the city of Columbus. It's been very popular.
Yes.
And actually, we own the facility, and we lease it out to the operator, and they pay us a fair rate to be in there. So
they have good chocolate cake.
I was just about to
they've
say,
got a great, and they bring it with a
cake.
glass of milk. If you like milk with your chocolate cake.
That chocolate cake is
You
to die
can drink
for.
the
I'm
milk
telling
because
you.
I'll die if I drink it, but
Right.
I can eat the cake all day long.
And then also we've got the Greenway, Scioto Greenway project going on right now. If you come downtown Columbus, you'll see a lot of construction in the river. And this is a project that we're doing. CDDC, the Columbus Downtown Development Corporation, is really the lead in implementing the project. But when we're done, what the project encompasses is taking out the Main Street Dam, which is a dam just almost right out the door here on the river, that lowers the river about 6 or 7 feet. And then we're bringing back in some fill. And really what this is doing is really taking the Scioto River back to what its original channel was. The channel that you saw down there in the large pool of water that was made by the dam was artificially made going back when that Main Street Dam was originally built. So that's all under construction right now. And when that's done later in 2015, we'll pick up about another 30 acres of parkland downtown. That'll have trails on it and walkways that allow folks to get down to the river. And we want to bring back some more boating in the river.
I was about to ask that, because I love boating.
Well, I know you do.
I want to get a boat down there.
Well, we're going to be looking at smaller boats in the downtown river. We're looking at canoes, kayaks, some smaller fishing boats, those types of things. And actually, that's going to tie into, we opened up this year on the Olentangy River a water trail. We've got the bike trails along the Olentangy River. We had a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and we've been working with them. And so now we've got a water trail, and there's places along the Olentangy River that you can show up with your own canoe or kayak, or we're also working with a company. If you don't have one, you can give them a call, and they'll bring one out, meet you there, and they'll deliver it, and then you'll paddle down to wherever you want to exit the river, and you pull the kayak out there, and then they'll come get it. So you don't have to, if you don't have one, it still opens up those kinds of opportunities. And as the downtown river project's completed, it'll be tied into that system as well. So you'll be able to ride from, say, 270 or paddle from 270 on the north all the way through the downtown. And of course, just south of here is the Scioto Audubon Park. It's a partnership with, Metro Park is a Metro Park. It's a partnership with the city and the Audubon Center there. That's another great park that's, 10-minute walk from where we're sitting here today. So we're really trying to work to tie all those systems together so people feel comfortable that pedaling, walking, rowing, canoe, whatever, and tying them all together.
And this is really great to hear about because, when we think about developing cities and as we're about 800,000 plus folk that live here, is that there's still a green space. We still have green space, and we still have that space where you can run and walk and do these type of things outdoors, rather than be so compacted within, building after building. Right. And so I'm really happy with the things that Recreation
Well, it's really a quality of life issue. And one of the things we look at a lot today in the services we provide are the health benefits of recreation in parks. We've all read stories about levels of obesity in American society today across all walks of life, all ages. Levels of diabetes are higher. So we look at a lot of our programming today about active living and how do you get out and be active. And it doesn't have to be going to the gym and working out. It can be as simple as taking a walk on one of the trail systems. There's mental health benefits of just getting out, getting away from the stress of the office and get in nature. There's been a lot of study of children with ADHD and the positive impacts it has of getting them outside in nature, as you say. It calms them down. It makes them be able to focus more. So there's a lot of health benefits there. With our recreation centers, the 29 centers we have now, we're doing, a number of them have community gardens there. Oh. And we're working with the kids, even at Dodge Recreation Center. I was overlooking at it, and it's just across the river here. We've got a garden in there, and the kids are planting the garden. And they come out and and they get very protective of the garden. If somebody comes over and tries to pilfer a tomato, no, those are our tomatoes. And so they're learning how to garden. And then the staff work with them. Their staff person was telling me, we took some of the tomatoes and peppers and things, and we made salsas. So they're learning not only how to grow the vegetables, but then how do you use those vegetables? How do you cook with them? And all that's going towards healthy nutrition. So, there's a lot of those kinds of programs we're doing in our centers today that, maybe a number of years ago, the focus wasn't as much on that health and wellness activities. We think that's very, very important.
It is. It sounds like it definitely is. And, something that's definitely needed because, with busy lives of parents and this, that, and the other, this gives, you know, the kids that opportunity to learn that other piece.
And
also
sounds like
be
it also
healthy.
gives the parents a chance to be right in there with them as well.
Well, very, very true, very true, because they're probably learning something also.
Yeah.
I know myself, as far as planning and trying to grow stuff, you know, these thumbs aren't made for it.
Yeah, and a lot of the youth programs, younger programs we do, preschoolers, parents are very much there, every day, very much involved with that. We encourage, again, all of our centers, you know, we mentioned I've got 29 centers out there, and we really look at those as community centers today. I think historically people think of those as recreation centers, and that has a, you know, kind of a connection with kids, which is a very big part of our programming, and we want to continue that. But as a community center, we really want to serve everyone. So a lot of our programs now have senior activities in the centers, adult activities in the centers, so as well as the youth activities.
Multicultural activities.
Multicultural activities, we're trying to grow those. You know, as you very well know, we've got a huge growth in Hispanic, Somali, and some of the emerging populations here, so trying to reach folks in those cultures. We've got some soccer leagues and so on that really draw from some of those other countries where, you know, they don't know about baseball and our football. They understand their football, so we're really kind of growing. And the World Cup really, I think, highlighted that.
Exactly.
So we've got a lot of those kinds of programs we're doing. You know, we're coming off our summer season right now as we're taping this. The summer programs are starting to wrap up. We've got a lot of camps and things that we offer during the summer. There's still, if this runs soon enough, there's still an opportunity maybe to get into a few weeks of camp if you want to get into those. But come September 2nd, we're going to start registration for our fall session in our rec centers. And again, in the fall, we have a lot of soccer, for example, a lot of those kinds of programs. But we have arts, we have dance. You know, there's a myriad of programs that you can get involved in. We're, you know, wrestling, karate. You know, we do sewing, gymnastics. There's all sorts of things that we do.
Just about everything it sounds like you can think of.
Yeah, you know, if you're looking for something to do and you go into our centers and see what we have to offer, if you can't find something, you're pretty picky. You're pretty picky. There's an awful lot to do out there.
Now, this is coming upon big time softball season, isn't it? Or just
well, we're in the middle of our
okay.
softball season.
Okay.
You know, we've got Berliner Park on the south side of Columbus, right off of Green Lawn Avenue. It's a little over 200 acres. We've got 31 softball diamonds in there. That is the biggest softball complex in the country.
Wow.
There is no place else in the country that has that many ball diamonds in one location. Number one. But because it is so large, we're able to attract a lot of tournaments. And virtually every weekend down there, we have tournaments coming in. And teams, some of them are statewide tournaments, but we have some tournaments that draw teams from all over the country. I think it's in 2015, again, the National Gay Softball Association is coming back with their national tournament. They were here about 4 or 5 years ago. We had teams from every state in the country and from Canada came in for that event. And again, when you look at the economic impact of that, they're here all week, they're staying in hotels, they're eating in the restaurants, they're shopping in the malls and the centers, not only just having a great time playing softball out in the park.
Well, I even heard at one time that just recently that ESPN, they did a live streaming from
That's
from
right.
there.
We had ESPN in for one of the women's fast pitch softball tournaments that was here. And I tell you, if you haven't seen fast pitch softball, it's pretty amazing. I'd like to tell folks a story of, my children are older, but when my oldest was playing baseball at high school age, they were looking for scorekeepers, and they were paying them, you know, a little bit to come down and be the scorekeeper. And we took him down there, and I told him that if his team played one of these women's fast-pitch softball teams, the same age group, those women would have cleaned their clocks. These girls are that good.
Right.
They really play high-level softball.
Fast pitches. It's fast.
It's fast. You get college scouts coming in here,
Yes.
some of these tournaments, watching these girls. And actually last weekend we had professional softball teams come in for a demonstration. And we sold over 2,500, I think 3,000 tickets, somewhere in that range. Brought all the bleachers in. They played down in Berliner Park, and it's the weekend that we had a fast-pitch softball tournament going on of young ladies, and they were all over it to see these women, these professional women in there playing. And some of them had played in the Olympics this past year, so it was quite an event. Quite an event.
It's nice to see that be so congruent. I want to ask you a personal question. Because your job just sounds so interesting. How do you feel knowing that the work that you do has such a huge impact on our entire community?
Well, I mean, it's a very good feeling, obviously. You know, as a director, you can get caught up in the administration and the bureaucracy sometimes, and of course when there are issues, you know, I'm the one that deals with a lot of those. But if you take a step back and look at what we accomplish, it's very rewarding. You know, the mission of our department is to enrich the lives of our citizens, and we work really hard, and we think we do a great job of that. And I tell staff all the time, you know, when you're out there, just remember, one person at a time, you're making a difference in their lives, and you might not know it. It surprises me the number of times I'm out in the community, in one of our centers, with some of the other staff that have been around for a long time, and an adult, somebody 30, 40, 50 years old will come in and say, you know, I came to this center and I remember you were the rec leader here when I came, or you were the playground leader on the playground I was at, and you know, I took so much away from that. It made a difference in my life. And there's a lot of professions out there, I'm sure, that can say that. You know, teachers see it all the time, but we do make a difference. And a lot of the neighborhoods we're in, you know, these centers are safe havens. There's sometimes not a lot of support at home for some of these children, or a lot going on in the communities, and these centers are a great place for folks to come in anytime. Our centers are free, they're drop-in. We welcome folks anytime to come in, and it does make a difference. So yeah, that's a good point. It is very rewarding to see the impact that we have.
It's a safe haven.
It is.
And you know, like you were saying, that there's a lot of young kids out there that have, you know, unfortunately don't have any guidance. And when they come there, they have that person to help guide them and to have those conversations with them. So
you look at the staff in these centers, and they really attract the kids. You know, there's some of them that I call them kid magnets. They just have that personality that, you know, the kids just flock to them, and they really know how to relate to them. And again, they have a tremendous impact. I had one of our elected officials come up to me one time who had a grandchild that was in a program, and he came to me and said, you know, it really brought him out of his shell, really made a difference in that young person's life. So it is, you know, you really can't put into words the impact that it has.
Right. Well, you know, that is something that's really heartfelt, and we can see that, and so we appreciate the work that you do, and definitely the staff, because they're down there in the trenches in a sense, but they're working with the kids one-on-one. And we've only got a few minutes left, and you know, what's in the future? What's in the future with recreation parks? Are there some big things that are happening, or something that we really need to look forward to? And I know you guys also do a lot of the festivals, or partner with a lot of the festivals. What do we have on the horizon here?
Well, we're working to continue to get all the centers, increase the hours and the programming in the centers. You know, this year we were able to, after some of the budget reductions of a number of years ago, finally get all of our centers back open full time this year. That's been a real plus for us in being able to do that, because, you know, we think it's so important to have the programs there for the kids. We're actually just wrapping up a master plan for the department. We've hired a firm. It's been almost a year-long process now, where we've had them come in and look at all of our facilities, but they're also looking at our operations and how we operate our facilities and how we program them. And I think there's going to be some real good information out of that. We hope to kind of wrap that up about September, October this year, in how we do some of the programming and distribute some of the services, so that we can make sure, you know, one of the things, for example, we've got 29 centers. Do we need to really offer 29 gymnastics classes? Maybe we look at how we kind of focus certain areas of the city on those kinds of activities, and if you want to participate in that, you go to that center. But it allows us maybe to offer more diverse programs at locations. So those are some of the things we're looking at. We think there's going to be some real opportunities there. The other thing that I've been real pleased with the last few years, and I think for the next several years we're going to be able to continue to do it, is really upgrading some of our facilities. A lot of our centers were built 40s, 50s, even some of them older than that. That day and age, they didn't air condition, just like the schools. You know, when I was in school, my school wasn't air conditioned. I don't know about yours. Well, the rec centers are the same, but today people expect that. So we've been able to go in and renovate a lot of our centers. Westgate's going to open up here next month, completely renovated. Then we're going to start Glenwood Recreation Center, which is one of our older ones. We're actually going to, that's so old and bad shape, we're going to demolish it and build a brand new center there. Oh, wow. After that, we're going to be looking at Driving Park Recreation Center. So we continue to upgrade those facilities and make improvements to them. We also are continuing to look at some of the service areas that where our parks are, and again, this is something the master plan is helping us with. I think we've got, as I said, 240 parks, but there are still some areas where folks don't have easy access to parks, so it's going to help us identify where do we need to go after some parkland in certain areas of the city to be able to make sure everyone has easy access, and that's one of the easiest things to help people get out to parks if they can get to those very easily.
That's excellent. Well, we're running out of time. Only got about a minute left, so let me just ask you if I know if they want to get a hold of you and/or Recreational Parks to see what's going on, where should they call, and also the website?
Well, 3319. Excuse me, 645-3319 is a number they can call anytime, and they can get directed to our facilities and so on. But really, the easiest thing to do is to go to our webpage, www.columbusrecparks.com. columbusrecparks.com. We've got all of our registration information is on there. All of our centers are listed there. You can click on any center you want and find out about the programs at that center. Or if you want to take an arts class, you can plug in arts and it'll tell you which centers the arts classes are there, for example. So, and you can register online. If you're not comfortable doing that, though, you can call any of the centers and register at the centers still. We want to make it as easy as possible. And I would just encourage folks to get out, spend some time in a park. It's a great stress reliever. It's a lot of fun. Or get into our programs in our centers. We've got great staff out there anxious to serve you, and we want people to just enjoy our facilities and parks.
Excellent.
Thank you so very
Right.
much.
Director Alum Mcknight, thank you so much for being on the program. Thank you so much for allowing us to be in the Cultural Arts Center. This has been great. And, also, if you'd like to connect with us at the Columbus Community Relations Commission, you can look us up on the web also at www.crc.columbus.gov, and or call us at 645-1993 if you have show ideas or there's something great going on in your community and you want us to come out to have a look at it and maybe get it on here on CTV. We'd love to do that for you and to be a part of our program. So thanks for having us in your household. I'm Napoleon Bell.
I'm Toni Teague.
Have a great week and take care.